Drake just sent more shots at Pusha T, reigniting their beef.
Round 2.
And he brought Pharrell and Travis Scott into it too.
Oh, brother.
It doesn't get any more petty than to shoot shots at your enemy's friends.
Well, who you telling?
Especially when they have nothing to do with whatever problems you have.
Exactly.
When you look at it from the lens of two rappers going at it, it can be looked at as normal.
Just another day in paradise, huh?
But Pharrell, Drake is cold-blooded, man.
Drake? Drake?
The sixth guy dug deep into his bag of petty tricks and pulled out some bars for the Virginia native on Travis Scott's new album, Utopia. Both Pusha T and Drake have been going back and forth for some years.
Hand it up.
So when Pusha finally decided to dedicate an entire diss song towards Drake, he sent shots at Drake's longtime engineer and friend, 40. Maybe that's the reason why Drake went at Pharrell.
That makes sense to me.
Drake spoke about melting down some chains that he bought from someone's boss. The lyrics point to a moment where Pharrell decided to sell his jewelry at an auction. His jewelry sold for over $2 million.
Cost a pretty penny.
However, nobody knew Drake bought it until he showed himself wearing the chains in the music video.
It all makes sense.
First off, addressing Pharrell as Pusha T's boss is hilarious.
I can barely contain myself.
Obviously, he isn't his boss in the general sense, but he's very instrumental in Pusha's career. The flip side to that is, Pusha has seen his biggest hits with Pharrell, but those hits aren't as vast as Drake's.
Well, let's be nice. Let's be nice. We don't have to go there. I mean, you're not wrong, but you didn't have to say it. I mean, good Lord.
Drake also mentioned that since V hasn't been around, his homies haven't been wearing Louis anymore. Another shot at Pharrell, who's now the men's creative director for Louis Vuitton, the same position that Virgil Abloh held before passing away from cancer.
Gone too soon.
Drake also didn't leave out some possible violent threats, saying,
"Don't come to the boy about sparing some. You lucky that Vogue was suing, cause I would've been with the Wassers in Paris."
They're lucky he was being sued by Vogue magazine, because if he wasn't, he would have been at Pharrell's Louis Vuitton fashion show in Paris with his goons. The bars Drake has for the two Virginians somewhat came out of left field, only because Pusha is engaged in another rap beef.
Apparently someone's been busy.
After Jim Jones gave his input on Pusha T not being better than him, a few bars went viral from a song that debuted at the fashion show that got everyone in a frenzy, based on Pusha's response to Drake that eventually exposes Drake having a son.
Who could forget that?
Any beef that Pusha may be involved in will look like waking up the bear from hibernation. Jim Jones sent a diss record back at Pusha T and has technically been baiting him to respond in many ways. But people believe that Jim Jones is doing it to show allegiance to Drake after Drake brought Dipset out during his show at the famous Apollo Theater. So now we have a trifecta going on. Who comes out on top? Drake, Jim Jones, or Pusha? I doubt Pharrell says anything about Drake sending shots his way. It actually seems like he's more of a casualty at war rather than hated by Drizzy.
I think so too.
And since Pusha went at his son, engineer, and CEOs Lil Wayne and Birdman, Pharrell may be the first target, and you'll never know. He may start going at people closer to him. Oh no! But he's still having a good time trying to notch a chink in Pusha T's armor. Footage showed supposed Drake fans throwing water all over Pusha as he performed on stage. It turned into a brawl between security and fans, but that alone may lead to more smoke.
It's possible.
But how much is the question? Drake has already laid off of dissing Kanye, who he thought told Pusha T about his son,
Wrong.
who he supposedly was hiding the world from.
The is hiding his kid from the world, but his world wouldn't hide from the kid?
Pusha revealed it wasn't Kanye,
Shocking.
but a girl that 40 was messing with.
Well, looky here.
But that doesn't mean that he will let off Pharrell so easily. If Drake is getting what he wants, which is diminishing everything Pusha T has going on, then perhaps he'll go even harder. Or maybe that was a little jab just to let Push know that he's still there and wants all the problems. And there's one thing we can surely anticipate, especially after getting rained on while rocking the mic, it's Pusha T responding back. It's just a matter of time.